Another sip of beer. Another hit of the old Vaporino.
Yeah, just go ahead, let everybody know you're a fucking vapist. Just what we
Let's
need.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm a boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm like a zoomer. Okay. EWGWHITE coming with the heat.
I stay fooling with my
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the world dedicated to radical centrism. I'm your host, Ryan. Joining me as always is Micah. What is up, buddy?
You know, all my favorite episodes of our show are all the ones where I had done zero prep. You know that, right?
So, all of them. No, I'm kidding. But hey, also joining us today is nobody because our guest bailed out at the last second.
Yeah. And,
can you believe this? To give somebody such a prestigious platform to espouse their views.
I asked him. I says to the guy, "Do you know who we are? Do you know what this is? Do you know what you're doing right now? This is the biggest mistake of your life, buddy."
Do you know who my dad is?
Yeah.
My name's Orion.
No,
Orion
really, I don't
Jones.
know. I don't know who my dad is. I've never met him. Do you know who he is? Could you get us in contact?
Well, look, he had a pretty good excuse. He said that he was suffering very hard from the symptoms of his full-blown AIDS. Not just HIV, full-blown AIDS. He's very ill, couldn't make it. So, we'll forgive him this time. Thoughts and prayers for our AIDS-ridden guest-to-be. But I'll just go ahead and start off with a rant of my own. If anything, it's better because this is less people to interrupt the flow
by all means,
of my genius mind.
By all means, ramble with impunity.
Here we fucking go, boys. I want to start off today talking about being a Renaissance man. Now, this is a requisite for being a true radical centrist king. For the uninitiated, the criteria to be a Renaissance man is as follows. One must be proficient in the pursuits of strength, mind, and arts. You must be well-rounded. You have to really take life by the balls. You can't just excel in one category. You have to excel in all of them. And so I'll give a few examples so that people know exactly what I'm talking about here. Because I want my grillers to succeed. I want them to be the best they can be in this year of the grill 2023. So I'll start off with strength. And I'll use myself as an example because I'm the epitome of all three of these categories. Firstly, I'm a yoked, badass fisherman who completes incomprehensible physical feats in the pursuit of the almighty dollar. Using the temple that God blessed me with, I caught a total of 280,000 pounds of sockeye salmon this summer. Now, you don't need to thank me for this. You don't need to thank me for single-handedly fixing the impending food shortages that we face. I'm just in it to kill fish. Beyond that, the scope of my magnificence, it doesn't end there, my grillers. Next is my furtherance of intellectual discourse. Having started a political audio lecture series in the form of a podcast, I've amassed an audience of over 1,200 loyal acolytes and redefined radical centrism to its true biblical meaning. Given my continued excellent health, I'll soon be at the point of intellectual influence akin to Milton Friedman, Karl Marx, or even Benjamin Shapiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Do you want me to go on here?
I'm loving this. This is great. This is good stuff.
The final quality I capture is my mastery of the arts. Indeed, my unique and intriguing prose is unmatched in this modern world. Beyond that, I'm a proficient multi-instrumentalist with the singing voice of an angel. Using this innate talent, I've touched the souls of countless individuals, oftentimes bringing them to the point of joyful, ponderous tears. You can find an example of this on our Odyssey channel, where our chart-topping hit, I'm Not Gay, currently lives after being jannied from YouTube.
Yeah, it sure does.
And so you're probably listening to this thinking to yourself, wow, I wish I could reach such heights of accomplishment, right? And if you're listening to this, I have good news for you, my grillers. You're already on that path. By being a fan of this show, you already have the innate ability that you need to unlock within yourself to reach the heights that I have. And so, to do this, to accomplish this, you can join our brand new, newly established Gumroad, found at the Grillcast.gumroad.com. That's right, we're in it for the money now, boys. It's the year of the grill.
You're so close. You all are so close to enlightenment, and all it's going to take is just $5. Just $5, and you'll be all the way there. Can you believe this?
Hustlers University costs $50 a month.
Jeez.
If you want to be like Andrew Tate, he's charging 50 whole buccarinos, and you end up being gay if you do that. You know? If you just pay us for as low as $5, you'll be able to find monthly bonus episodes that are too spicy for YouTube. These are things that we can't discuss on this Wing Cucked platform that you're currently enjoying right now. Look, you can get special Discord roles showing your Grillisha ranking. Do you want to be a Grillisha recruit? Do you want to be a lieutenant? A general? A Grillisha general?
A commander?
Well, you can... A commander?
A secretary of propaganda?
Well, look, those aren't tiers
a sex slave?
Yet, but look. You can show everybody in the world your ranking. This is the first military grillitary where you pay for a ranking to show your commitment to the cause. Look, and the best part of all of this, I'm not going to take a single cent of profit in the year of 2023. My Grillas, all proceeds this year will go directly into improving the show that you love. Better microphones, cameras, props for videos, and more will stem directly from your investment. Look, if you invest in Grillcoin right now, it's shooting to the moon. This is the year of the grill. You know, get in on the ground floor. You'll be able to say, I liked this cultural monolith before it was cool. Back when it was on the ground floor, I got in. People will respect you. They'll revere you. They'll say, wow, this guy, you know, he's a cultural trendsetter, supporting the real content early on. So, yeah, go ahead and check out the Grillcast.gumroad.com. And give me your hard-earned money.
Are we gonna upload any of the shows that you cast into the darkness of the ether and banished for all eternity because you cried and bitched and moaned about how you didn't do a good job? Are we gonna put those up there, or are those gonna remain hidden forever?
No, because then I have to edit them. That's a big pain in the ass. But there's shows that we previously uploaded. You'll be able to go through the archives and see the early days, how we've all developed into the movement we are today. Look, this didn't start off, as top tier as it is now.
Yeah, we weren't at S tier levels. Obviously 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were merely boys, and now we're men, handsome, good looking,
handsome, ripped, not gay men.
Yes.
And look, you might be thinking to yourself, I've already listened to those because I'm a true grilla. And also, why would I pay you money for worse content rather than listen to the 2 shows you're putting out every week at the same day? Look, I'm putting in the work here, my friends. And I'm going to go ahead and shift off this topic so that I'm not shilling for literally 10 minutes at the opening of the show. Yeah, we're at just under 10 minutes here, so we're going to move on. But go sign up. Go give me your hard-earned money.
It's going to be great.
The best you've ever seen. Now, speaking of movements, the Me Too movement has killed many men.
Yeah.
It's destroyed them. And recently, Andrew Callaghan, a large YouTuber turned HBO showrunner, you might know him as All Gas, No Breaks. You might know him as Channel 5. He's a big deal. He's a big deal. And he's been Me Too'd. Allegations of sexual misconduct from multiple women.
Oh, no.
And now, right? Those poor dopey broads. And now, when I first heard this, I was happy because I hate the fucking guy. I really do. I dislike him. He attacked Alex Jones, whom I see as a father figure. And due to the nature of this parasocial relationship, I rooted for his demise. When this first came out, I was like, yeah, fuck him, bury him in the ground. But, as a radical centrist, I had to go searching for the source. I had to see it for my own eyes and make a non-biased decision and judgment on the situation. And upon seeing this TikTok allegation, because that's where we're at in the year 2023. If some guy rapes you, you go on TikTok to take him down. And when I saw this, the joy I was experiencing, and it drained from my body.
Hmm.
So I want to show all of you exactly what I saw and, let you decide for yourself after giving my opinion for a matter of 20 plus minutes. So let's go ahead and pull this up.
I feel like one day that is going to be how reporting crimes work. Like you just go on TikTok and you make a TikTok of the crime that's happening, and whichever one of those is like the most viral at any given time, that's the one that the police respond to. Like the police TikTok shares it and stuff, and they all work together on that.
That's the future we're headed towards. 1984 will seem like a blessing.
Oh, she looks lovely.
Yeah, let's just start off
like
by looking at this. At Cornbread Asserole. This is where the sexual assault allegation is coming from. Notice they never say rape anymore when they're doing this. They never say anyone raped them. It's sexual assault. Trigger warning, sexual assault. This ham planet is going to enlighten us as to exactly what went down.
I never in a million years thought that I would be making this video, and I'm shaking because I've tried a couple different times and haven't been able to get my point across, but I don't like seeing abusers get platforms. And my abuser, Andrew Callaghan, also known as All Gas No Breaks, Channel 5, and whatever his new HBO show's called, I forget, has been plastered all over my news feed, and I've tried to come to him person to person and try to get him to take accountability for what he did, but his version of what happened the night that he assaulted me is so skewed. So I will tell you that he did eventually get consent.
Based.
Okay, so that should be the end of it right there, right? I've tried to confront him and tell him that I had a real big problem with what happened, and he disagrees with me being extremely butt blasted.
I see what's happening here. This went the route of 4 no's and a yes is still a yes, and she's just unhappy with how those rules work, because that is the fact of the matter, is it not?
Only in the last 5 years has that come into question. Did he block her from leaving? Did he threaten violence? No.
Do y'all remember as children? Okay, you go out to the supermarket with your parents, or if your parents are divorced, I'm sorry for triggering that horrible memory for you. But you go with your guardian, whatever. You're at the supermarket and you're begging for a candy. You want a candy before you leave, and they keep telling you no and no and no. But you put on the puppy dog eyes as you get to the checkout, and they're ringing up the last item. And finally, that whimpering, that pleading, and all those no's build up, and the parent finally relents and says yes. And guess what? Guess what fucking happened? You're eating that fucking candy bar, aren't you? 20 no's and 1 yes, you're still eating that fucking candy bar, and this bitch is still, giving head or doing whatever she ended up doing for this guy. That's just the fact of the matter.
Well, I hope that your parents, upon hearing this, go on TikTok and talk about how you financially raped them back in the grocery store all those years ago.
They were telling them
consent until they did consent.
Isn't that's something funny to me too? Is I feel like that's a common memory of people that people have. A common that's something that happened to everyone, but the commonality in all of it is that the parents always would say something like, "We really, we can't afford that." Like, what do you mean we can't afford it? It's $1 fucking dollar, mom. What do you, bitch? What? Come on. You dragged me all the way out here. I'm sorry. I don't want to go on this tangent, but it does,
No, because it's true that, they bring you to the grocery store, they tempt you. They know what they're doing when they bring you by the candy aisle. They know what they're doing. They're flaunting it there, and then they say, no,
that's a great point.
No, you're going to keep asking.
Yeah. And it is a perfect analogy for this situation.
So enlightening, my Grilla. So enlightening. So let's go on to see the details of him obtaining said consent and why it's wrong in the Slam Pig's mind.
And that's the main point, is that he eventually got consent because he wore me down. He told me he needed a place to stay for the night. He had some sort of falling out with one of his crew members or whatever. And I was very clear about the fact that we are not hooking up. He gets in my bed and wears me down to the point where I have...
Wait a second. So she has him over to her house and has him sleep in her bed and says, "Oh, wait a minute, but we're not going to have sex unless, you ask me a few times." Am I to believe? Am I to believe that she had no idea what was going on? Look, I believe women are stupid. I believe that women don't know what's going on a lot of the time, but when it comes to sexual relations and manipulating men to get what they want, they know exactly what they're doing.
I normally don't like to victim blame, but I'm willing to make an exception here because it's absolutely it's unbelievable that she wasn't having, you know, that thought somewhere in the back of her mind. Like if she invited him over, you know, because he needed a place to crash, he can crash on the fucking floor or the couch or wherever. Yeah.
But she, you know, he got in her bed.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Even at that, she makes a little. What did she make a pillow for it to block him off? No. Did she do anything in reality to ward his advances? No.
She probably even showered before she got into bed. Yeah, she probably even showered and you know, wore some nice female cologne. You know?
Really, you know, she should receive the blame here for leading him on. But, you know, let's continue and see, because maybe he really did do something wrong. Maybe I'm missing something here. I want to let her paint the picture so that I can make a full judgment. So let's go.
Eventually do agree to do things that I wasn't proud of. And I wasn't proud of them and thought it was my fault for so long that I continued to be nice to him after the situation. He wouldn't leave my house the next morning. And then as time went on and I processed things, I thought, you know what, just because eventually I said, okay, whatever, because I was trying to just get the whole night over with so that it could be morning so that he could leave. It doesn't discount the fact that I told him no.
So you just wanted the whole night to be over. You're totally over it. You know, you don't want anything to do with this. And your decision, rather than saying, you know what, you're like a big YouTuber, why don't you just like get a fucking Uber and get a hotel, is, yeah, I'm just gonna fuck this guy so he shuts up, and now I'm the victim.
I just want to say to this this queen, I got to share something with her. You know, me personally, I have never been proud of anything that I've done sexually. But I also have the accountability, okay, to own up to the things that I'm responsible for, you know, and whatever situation that may be. And it's very clear to me that she does not.
Well, why do these women think that they have to be proud of everything they've done sexually? That they deserve that? They don't deserve that. I'm sure he's not proud that he banged a fat chick, but, you know, it happened. And he had the decency to not talk about it and blast it all over the place. Unlike this slatternly whore. So, let's continue.
I told him no so many times prior to this. I said, I'm tired, I'm not really feeling it. I came up with any excuse that I possibly could to just get him off of me. And he still found a way to coerce me into things that I didn't want to do. And this is really hard for me to say. I never thought I would come forward, but it's even more hard to have to relive the trauma that I endured every single day by seeing this man as a social justice warrior, as someone who cares about human rights, get a platform. You shouldn't be supporting him. And at the end of the day, like, I've told close friends of mine, I've tried coming out about this before.
So what it comes down to, it's not that he fucked her over. It's that she regretted it, and now she sees him everywhere. You know, he haunts her like a specter, like a ghost. And she can't deal with the regrettable sexual situation that she put herself in.
Right.
And as such, her only recourse to never see him again and never have to relive, because he is a bad-looking dude. He's very ugly.
Right.
Let's be clear here.
Right.
There's a reason he went after this.
She at least did probably suffer to some degree, even if it was of her own accord.
Yes. And so her solution to this is to try and destroy his life. This is the mind of these women. It's amazing. Let's see if there's anything else of note here.
And he texted me saying that it basically ruined his life and that his life was over now because of things that I said, and other women have come forward to me, but this is my first time publicly talking about it on a platform like TikTok because I hope it gets traction. I hope people listen to me. I hope that if something similar has happened to you, that you know.
So what she's getting at here is, you know, I hope people pay attention to me. My father never did. I wanted Andrew to pay attention to me. He stopped doing so. So I'm going to ruin his life so that I can get some attention. That's what I'm going for here. And she mentions that she's gotten other allegations of so-called sexual assault from other women that this guy has attempted or had sex with. And so let's get into that. I have a video showing showing some of those. We'll freeze on the frames because she shows them for about 2 seconds because they're so ridiculous in nature that nobody could take them seriously. She just wants it to fly past. Let's look at that, shall we?
On Reddit, feel free to do that, but I can't mentally handle this anymore. This was Andrew and I agreeing to hang out.
So that's her
when he
source.
was in
She
St.
provides
Pete.
a source that he did in fact, meet up with this woman.
This was us the night at the
she
bar.
wasn't as fat back then.
We went into the bathroom to take a photo because
she
this
still wasn't good,
bar,
but,
the bathroom has its own Instagram page, and it's just something people do at that bar. Also, like I said many times before, I trusted him, and people are blaming me for trusting him, and I did, and it is what it is. This is a comment from someone who I've been speaking with about
Andrew
what
sexually
happened to her.
assaulted me as well. I had previously been involved with him, but only when I was extremely drunk. I confronted him about it, and he invited me to dinner to apologize. Then he assaulted me in my car, and I had to physically kick him out. Confronts him, and then is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to dinner with somebody who raped me. Does that sound likely to you? Does that seem like
actually,
a sexual...
It does. It actually does. And you know what? I'm willing to assess the situation as that this guy, it probably is a piece of shit. But so are the people that choose to associate him. So are the people that choose to associate with him. And so I don't fucking care if they get, if they get abused or whatever, because it's literally like you are self-aware. That's what I'm saying. That's what we were saying earlier, is that they have to take some accountability here. Look, at some point.
I'm a feminist in this.
You're going out to dinner with your rapist. Yeah.
I'm a feminist in the sense that I believe these women have more agency than they let on. I think that they know when they have a sexual encounter they didn't like, that going to dinner with the guy is, not really what you do when somebody actually rapes you. It discounts, I don't know, man. I don't know. It boggles my mind.
It sure would make that woman look stupid. And, that's unpleasant to think about, isn't it? Women being stupid? We don't want to think about that.
Let's go over some more of these serious allegations that are going to get his TV show canceled and his life ruined.
This is a message I got about a year ago from someone who said that he
here we go.
Has
here's
been known to
anonymous
associate with underage girls.
This is that's how we should judge these things, is by people who won't even come forward with their own face, saying, also, my friend has mutual friends with this camera guy, and I basically heard that he was sleeping with girls who looked very young and lived with their parents, so 99% underage while on tour. So, a secondhand source, I've a friend with mutual friends with his camera guys saying that he was sleeping with girls who looked very young, no age, just very young. Mind you, the guy's 25 years old and lived with their parents, so 99% underage.
And no source on that. No source on that.
This is the caliber of accusation that's being thrown at this guy. And it's like, all women, do you know how long that women live with their parents now? It's like we live in fucking India. They never leave their goddamn house because their parents don't have the balls to kick them out and say, get a fucking job, loser. They lived with their parents, so 99% sure they were underage. Does that seem right to you? These people, particularly leftists as fans, who always complain about how they can't afford rent?
Yeah, that's true.
Does that seem valid to you? This is the caliber of accusation that's being thrown at this guy.
This is the story from the same person of her experience. You can pause to read any of this stuff.
I don't even want to keep watching these. They're all stupid.
Yeah, this is
here's one. Fucking, the situation that I was in was at a party probably 3 years ago, and I thought he was cool at first and had a pretty good convo. And then we basically went into a room kind of isolated from everyone, and he was really pressuring me to go to his house. I feel like he was blocking the doorway. You feel like he was? You feel like he was blocking the doorway? He either was or wasn't. This isn't a feeling. It's a yes or no situation. Was he blocking it, or did you just feel like he was? And, just this idea, we're having a conversation, we're at a house party, and then we go to an isolated room, and he tried to have sex with me? What? Like, these broads are dumb, but they're not this stupid. They can't actually believe this. Or maybe they do. Maybe they've been brainwashed to the point where they feel like they are actual victims, because they are in a space where being a victim of this sort of thing is good for their social standing.
I think we need to set up a support group with we can start off by having like this guy and like Brett Kavanaugh, and they can get together and kind of relive the trauma that these people are putting them through.
Yes, the trauma that they're putting them through by having normal social interactions with them and then asking them to have sex. Yeah, they're psychologically buck broken by this experience. That's how weak these women are now. And look, it's not just these people coming out. It's not just women trying to chase clout. It's also, the people, because he's a big content creator for the online left movement. And so they're all snaking on him because their careers depend on it.
Right.
Their careers depend on, saying that he's bad for doing things that all of them do and all of us do.
Yeah.
I feel at this point that it's necessary to disclose the truth of the matter.
Yep.
And you can back me up on this, because too. As an electronic celebrity myself, I was inducted into the Sex Pest Society. Both of us were. When you reach a certain level of electronic fame, men in hoods come to you and they fly you out. They fly you out to a place. It's like Bohemian Grove, but not gay.
It's on an island.
And us content creators, we all take a solemn oath to use our power differential over normie women to coerce them into sexual acts. We all do it. We all do this, okay? And that's why it sickens me when my fellow electronic celebrities dogpile other men for something that we all do.
Well,
to
you might
cover
have
their own ass.
You might have missed this part of the induction, Orion, but there was a singular rule regarding our ability to sex pest and support each other's sex pesting.
Don't get caught.
Well, it's not just don't get caught, but if you're getting caught, what does that really say about you? It means that the person that you were sex pesting, they weren't enough of a fan.
Yeah.
And that sort of violates the code, that's sort of, we're supposed to be taking advantage of our fans. And if they report you to the police, they're obviously not a fan.
They're not a real fan.
They're not a real
point.
fan. Yeah.
And that's the problem
Basically,
that he's found himself in.
Basically, the rule is if they're not at least donating to you or supporting you on Patreon, you should watch how many bases you're trying to pull on them.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Is that the part of the power differential that we wield over these innocent women is that they're such big fans of what we do, of our great minds, of our fame, of our celebrity. They're such big fans of it. So if you get someone who's just a fair weather fan, they're gonna snake on you. But I have a clip of H3H3 responding to this, because he's been in talks with Andrew Callaghan, his longtime buddy, and I just want to play for you his response.
First, I just wanted to make sure that he told me he was like at a psych ward. He was not doing well and he was having panic attacks and stuff. And I, first of all, wanted to make sure that he was safe, that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that he was with people that cared about him. Obviously, I don't want him to die. I'm hoping none of y'all think he should die for this, do you?
Is this really something that needs to be said? Obviously, I don't want him to die. I don't want him to die because some fat chick is angry at him for dicking and dipping.
I know this joke is like gay and really overplayed, but if you looked up sex pests in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Ethan Klein.
Absolutely. And I have a story about that to get into after this clip. But, he starts off saying, oh yeah, he's in a psych ward and I just wanted to reach out to him to see if he was okay. No, you didn't, you fucking fat liar. You don't care if he's okay. This is your content. This is how you're getting views. You're seeing this guy go through the worst time of his life to the point where he's having panic attacks and has to go to the fucking mental hospital. And what are you doing? You're taking your fat schlubby ass onto stream and talking about his fucking mental breakdown. Well, but actually, I'm the good guy because I hope he doesn't die. Yeah. That goes without saying, you stupid faggot. Okay, so let's continue.
And so I did confirm that he's doing okay.
Who's this fucking
that was a
asshole on the
relief to me.
laptop behind him? While he's
Again, I'm not defending him, and I believe those victims 100% since they came out with their videos.
Oh yeah, of course. I believe them 100%.
So what was I saying? So
No critical analysis.
well, what I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that he confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay?
yeah.
Y'all fucking, you know what I mean? He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So right out the bat, you know what I mean? He was pretty open, and basically that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened.
And this is what I mean. It's this fake concern for the women involved, for Andrew and his fucking mental breakdown. It's all just content to people like this fat retard. It's an incestuous and cannibalistic world for these guys, where 90% of their content is just pretending they didn't know their friends were sexually pestering women and that they don't do the same thing. Like, well, every leftist stream, like every month there's a new sex pest. It's insane. And it's rich to me. It's really rich to me because I've seen Ethan Klein at the Sex Pest Society bruncheon. I saw him sexually harass a child. I saw it with my own eyes. And I was taken aback by this. You know, I couldn't believe it because I assumed a man whose wife has looked like she's 40 years old since she was 20 couldn't possibly be a pedophile, but it's all true. I've seen it with my own eyes. H3H3 trying to diddle a kid. And for him to sit here and pretend that he has any empathy or sympathy or any care in the world other than making more money by reacting to the sexually pesting leftist streamer
No, he
number
doesn't-
629,000.
Yeah. He doesn't have any of the P's. He doesn't care at all.
No. No, he doesn't. And so, you know, as much as I hate Andrew at the end of the day for attacking Alex Jones, for attacking my electronic daddy, okay, as much as I hate him for that, I care more about him and what's happening to him than any of these so-called friends he has. And that's really telling for society.
Yeah.
Society. And you know, speaking of society, let's talk about, let's move off of this. Let's move off of this and talk about public transport.
Oh, very important topic. I know a lot of our viewers care deeply about this, and that's why we've prepared a highly in-depth and researched analysis on the state of public transportation for you today, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
Absolutely, because there's a concerted effort amongst the leftoids to try and convince Americans that public transport is based, literally gaslighting people and spreading QAnon conspiracies that it isn't the caliber of the average bus enthusiast that's the problem, but that big oil is propagandizing, brainwashing us into thinking that you don't want to sit next to a smelly homeless man for 20 minutes to get to work.
Do you have a source?
I do.
Thank God.
I always have a source for my claims. Always. Even if it's just me making it up, I always have a source for my claims. PB Gomez on Twitter, @NotoriousPBG, says, middle-class Americans believe that public transportation is inherently unclean and unsafe. The truth is that poor conditions on American buses and trains is a deliberate policy decision dictated by the companies who profit from you sitting in your car for 3 hours every day.
Wow.
Does this smell of Wingcuck QAnon conspiracy theory to you? This idea that big oil is just sitting there, counting their stacks of money, just like, you know what we should do? We should pay a bunch of homeless people to shoot up heroin in the fucking train station and sexually assault women. That's what we should do, and then they'll have no choice but to use cars. Does that check out to you, my friends?
If it does, then please give me a reference for where I can get my first paycheck, and I will be on the next bus this coming week.
The homeless do what they do, not because they're George Soros paid shills to go and destroy public transportation's good name, but for the love of it, for the love of the labor, to take their autonomy like that, to say that, you know, there's some sort of paid shill being promoted to do these things by big financial interests, rather than, you know, enthusiasts of sex pestery on trains, of shooting up on trains, taking shits on trains and buses. Look, it's stripping them of the autonomy that they fought so hard to have. And I want to talk a little bit about the caliber. I mean, this is a tweet with 31,000 likes, A
lot of replies, a lot of people making unsavory comments about certain demographics, ruining their bus experience in the inner cities.
And specifically, I want to talk about this guy. And this is your average train enthusiast in the year of 2023. I thought we all agreed a long time ago that being an adult who's super into trains makes you a literal retard autist. I thought that this was something that we all agreed upon, but I guess Wing Cucks are bringing it back and reviving it. So, PB Gomez goes on to say, the efficiency, safety, and cleanliness of the Japanese bullet train system is not a novelty or product of cultural differences. It is. Having those trains be good is simply a major political priority for the Japanese electorate. So, I think to myself, I'll continue
Maybe.
on first. He goes on to say, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me painting Warhammer miniatures and playing video games drunk. Look, doesn't Japan have a giant molestation problem on these trains? Isn't that
true.
One of the things they're known for is middle-aged businessmen grabbing booty and stuff?
I know that is that a real problem or is that just an anime thing? Because I really don't know. I don't know Japan well enough. I know that it is I know that's a thing in anime because I see jokes made about it. But is that based in reality?
I think it is because I judge the quality of a country and their actions based off their cultural exports.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Our art is reflective of ourselves, so there has to be some kernel of truth to that. Not to get all analytical.
To me, it's one of these things where it's like, these people, these Warhammer playing video game enthusiasts, this guy paints Warhammer models, a child's activity, plays with model trains, plays video games, another child's activity. And to me...
I'm sorry, I just don't like that he's giving me a binary choice here. It's either I don't like trains and public transportation and I'm racist, or I like trains and I have to be autistic. I have to reconcile myself with that. So it's there's no winning here.
Truly a lose-lose situation, because these people blast these propaganda of this utopian society where you just get on a train and there's not a dirty homeless guy shitting his pants and shooting up heroin next to you. They have this utopian idea, but even if that gets solved somehow, which it won't, it's impossible, to take away the homeless man's autonomy by telling them to go fucking do it on the street. That's very oppressive in and of itself, but there's more structural problems that arise from this. My grill is, I can't drunk drive on a train. I don't know how to use a train. I'm not autistic. I can't loudly play music like I do in my car because black people are already doing it when I step in. Their music is already loudly playing from their phone speaker. I don't have the opportunity.
You can't mix the genres. Not to say that it's annoying that they're playing their music, but we're not going to go in there and mix up genres because it doesn't make any sense.
Do you step into a nightclub and bring your own speaker and just start blasting your own music? No.
Like a fucking weirdo, yeah.
It's a faux pas. And I wouldn't disrespect black people by doing that when, every time I step on the train, they're doing that. Anyways, the car in and of itself is freedom. The car is freedom. It's the American dream. And I need one so badly because I'm a man who appreciates nature. I'm in touch with nature. Mm-hmm. I'm in touch with God in the way that these urbanoids simply cannot be. I need to get 20 miles deep into a service road because I have an instinctual need to yell the N-word at the top of my lungs on at least a monthly basis. Look, I understand that this activity, this sort of thing, it's not conductive to a functional society. So I'm like a werewolf out there. I go out, I head deep into the woods on the night of a full moon monthly, and I scream it at the top of my lungs. Without a car, what am I gonna do? Can I do that? Can I go live my werewolf N-word fantasy?
The Grillcast does not condone or support the words or actions of any of its guests or hosts, and would like to thank you all for understanding this.
And there's nothing wrong with screaming the N-word deep in the middle of the woods. If someone screams the N-word and no one's around to hear it, was it ever really said? It's like keeping it in the bedroom, except even more isolated. You know, this is something that is a big part of my life, and these train cells want to take it away.
Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy? Are you glad that you got this out?
I really am.
All right.
I'm a proud N-word werewolf. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, you know, at the end of the day, the train cell is disconnected with nature, disconnected with God, disconnected with facts and logic, and this utopian society that they think of. Look, if it was up to them, I would be on the train screaming the N-word like every other homeless person, and I'm not going to debase myself like that. That's what they want. They want me to do it somewhere where there might be a minority around who would be hurt by it.
I mean, it's just. I don't think we need to think too deeply on this. It's just, you know, another day, another schizophrenic take on Twitter.com sort of deal.
Indeed. To shift topics here. You know, I'm not the only one who screams the N-word, like our homeless chads. I have the decency to do it in the middle of the woods where no one can hear it. But the homeless, you know, they make themselves a problem for a lot of people. And there's one man out there going hard to try and solve this crisis. All right? Introducing the hose chad, Callaghan. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I'm just going for it. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is this just like, are we exploring the etiquette of N-wordism? Or what is this what we're doing?
Well, look, this person didn't shout the N-word in this video I'm going to play, but
okay. That's really what I wanted. That's really what I wanted to know.
I was just trying to bridge topics here, okay? I didn't do a very smooth, cohesive job.
That's okay.
They can't all be zingers there, Micah. So Callaghan, Hose Chad, is the owner of Foster Gwynn Gallery in San Francisco. And he's having a bit of a hard time right now. Police are guarding the Foster Gwynn Gallery in the financial district of San Francisco a day after a video of the business owner turning a hose on a homeless woman went viral.
What is the Foster Gwynn Gallery? Is that like an art gallery? Is that like a...
Yes, it's an art gallery. And that's really important, and I'll expand on that in a minute here. You know, he's going through a really hard time right now. Ever since this video went viral, he's received a smashed front door, a deluge of 1-star Google reviews.
Oh,
deluge. You know, he's really getting fucked with, and he had to temporarily close his business. And as such, I want to go ahead and play the video of the incident and expand upon it with some additional context that I don't think these wingcucks who are attacking him are taking into account, as they often don't. So let's go ahead and play that. Like he's watering his plants.
Move.
So confident. He's so confident in his hose spraying abilities, and it's because he knows that he's not doing anything wrong here.
No. And look, the homeless have the right, okay, to loiter and shit and piss outside of people's businesses. But conversely, business owners, aka land chads, have the right to hose down these homeless people and remove the shit and piss, okay? This is just the circle of life.
Look, it's not... She wasn't moving, you know? She wasn't getting out of the way. It's not like he was following her around doing this.
In hose chad's defense, she was not moving.
And look, it's really telling to me, okay, that wingcucks can't figure out what exactly he was doing here. They think that he's some cold, callous, you know, just shitty businessman trying to deface the honor of a proud homeless woman who had no choice but to shit in front of his place of work. But, you know, they can't figure out what with their smooth brains and whatnot, that this is a high art concept meant to highlight the plight of the homeless in America.
Oh.
Look, for far too long,
that's good.
The unhoused have been unhosed. The idea that a private citizen has to bathe these people rather than the government, that should be the offensive part.
Do you feel disgusted? Do you feel disgusted by this video? Because that's the point.
That's the point. You should feel disgusted, okay? Do you know who else washed the poor? Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So write that one down, chump. Look, where others see an affluent urbanoid callously hosing a helpless homeless, I see a man doing the work the government refuses to. This is the mark of high art, you know? Completely different perspectives leading to different conclusions of the work. There's a wing-cucked conclusion of him, you know, being an asshole, being a bad guy, and there's the radical centrist take.
The compassionate conclusion. The correct conclusion. The
compassionate, correct conclusion that this man is an artist expressing his art in a way that offends the wing cuck, and therefore they must destroy. That's how their mind
Very
works.
succinctly put.
And it's just hard to see another radical centrist artist, such as myself, being harassed.
Yeah,
you know,
because we're artists too. You know, we can empathize with this man's plight because, you know, so often we too are attacked for our art just because it's AI generated art. We suffer similar types of criticism and, you know, disdain from the public at large who don't understand, you know, the creativity behind what we do.
And that's the mark of a great artist. Look, in 100 years, people are going to look back on Hose Chad and say he was so misunderstood. He was too ahead of his time, really, for these pea-brained peons to understand.
Oh no!
And it's just sad to see it happen, you know, in real time. It's like,
5 minutes later.
well, my Grillas, we were just interrupted. Will you shut the fuck up, man?
Yeah, sorry.
Jesus, I'm trying to end the show.
Sorry.
Okay, my Grillas, we have been interrupted. You know, in the midst of our auditory genius. To Elon Musk shutting us down. My internet disconnected. We're having problems here, so we're gonna have to end it, you know, just about here. Post-haste. We're gonna have to end this shit. Micah, any final thoughts for our Grillas here today?
Check out the Freedom's Legion. They are a base centrist organization dedicated to fighting pedophiles, many of which whom are employees of YouTube, and so on and so forth. Look them up. They have a website. They're doing good work out there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I forgot he wanted us to shout them out. So go and check them out. Go and check out the Grillcast.gumroad.com. Look, your investment today, it'll pay out in spades, in the form of content, in the form of bonus episodes. You're not going to know what to do with all of this content, with the quality of the content that your money, that your investment will make possible. So go check that out. Thank you, as always, for listening to our show. Peace out, my Grilla.
My mindset on Zoomer. Everything cooler, long as I'm not Laura Loomer. If you think I'm not number one, I just spell that rumor. Hit that victory royale on some motherfucking coochie. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance on a bitch. Floss dance while I'm flossing in a whip. Victory royale when that chopper hit. Self-incrimination, I have no participation. News keep asking, I don't say shit. You can't have my conversation.